We the people will no longer allow the political prisoners of January 6th to be deprived of their life, liberty, and due process. Arizona Constitution, Article 2, Section 4, Due Process of Law. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Maxim 86A. It would be idle and trite to say that no right is absolute. Louisiana Constitution, Article 1, Section 3, Right to individual dignity. No person shall be denied the equal protection of the laws. No law shall discriminate against a person because of race or religious ideas, beliefs, or affiliations. No law shall arbitrarily, capriciously, or unreasonably discriminate against a person because of birth, age, sex, culture, physical condition, or political ideas or affiliations. Slavery and involuntary servitude are prohibited, except in the later case as punishment for crime. Maxim 86K, no one is considered to act with guile or to be a wrongdoer who uses his own right.
Notice of deprivation of rights of the January 6th political prisoners.
Notice to principal is notice to agent, and notice to agent is notice to principal.
I, one of the people of the 50 American states, as seen in the bills and declarations of rights in the 50 state constitutions, sui juris, am serving you with this notice so that you and your agents may provide due care. Please take notice that we the people are the creators of all government in our nation, both state and federal. Government is only created to promote the general welfare of the people, ensure our rights, and to provide equality under the law. All men are free and have the inherent rights to life, liberty, safety, and happiness. See evidence below. Virginia Constitution, Article 1, Section 2, People, the source of power. That all power is vested in, and consequently derived from, the people, that magistrates are their trustees and servants, and at all times amenable to them. Missouri Constitution, Article 1, Section 2, Promotion of general welfare, natural rights of persons, equality under the law, purpose of government. That all constitutional government is intended to promote the general welfare of the people, that all persons have a natural right to life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and the enjoyment of the gains of their own industry, that all persons are created equal and are entitled to equal rights and opportunity under the law, that to give security to these things is the principal office of government, and that when government does not confer this security, it fails in its chief design. Indiana Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, Inherent Rights. We declare that all people are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that all power is inherent in the people, and that all free governments are, and of right ought to be, founded on their authority, and instituted for their peace, safety, and well-being. For the advancement of these ends, the people have, at all times, an indefeasible right to alter and reform their government. Please take notice that it is the lawful right of all people to freely assemble together to consult for the common good, and to make known any redress of grievances to their elected representatives. He who uses his own right is not considered to be a wrongdoer or to be acting with guile. Are there individuals who assembled at the Capitol on January 6, 2021, who are being unjustly imprisoned and detained for crimes which are not a crime, but were their own lawful rights? See evidence below. New Jersey Constitution, Article 1, Rights and Privileges, Paragraph 18. The people have the right freely to assemble together, to consult for the common good, to make known their opinions to their representatives, and to petition for redress of grievances. Maine Constitution, Article 1, Section 15, Right of Petition. The people have a right at all times in an orderly and peaceable manner to assemble to consult upon the common good, to give instructions to their representatives, and to request, of either department of the government by petition or remonstrance, redress of their wrongs and grievances. Maxim 77C. He who uses his legal rights harms no one. Carson v. Western R. Company, 8 Gray, Massachusetts, 424, Broom, Max 379. Maxim 86K. No one is considered to act with guile, or to be a wrongdoer, who uses his own right. Dig. 50, 17, 55, Broom, Max 130, America Insurance, Company v. Griswold, 14 Wind. NY, 399, 492. Maxim 86A. It would be idle and trite to say that no right is absolute. Orient Insurance Company v. Drags, 172 U.S. 557, 566. Please take notice that we the people are aware that many agents of the government are acting in nefarious ways to harm the people and violate their inherent, inalienable, natural rights. As trustees and servants of the people, the oath you swore to the state and federal constitutions are indivisible and cannot be held as partly true. When you attack the people, including the individuals who assembled at the Capitol on January 6, 2021, are you upholding your oath and faithfully discharging your duties of office? See evidence below. Maxim 84C. Punishment is due if the words of an oath be false. Blacks 840. Maxim 84D. An oath is indivisible, it is not to be held partly true and partly false. For INST 274, Bov. 134. Maxim 4F. Faith must be observed. An agent must not violate the confidence reposed in him. Story AG. S. 19. Please take notice that as trustees and servants of the people, you are strictly bound to your contract, the 50 state constitutions. Where did we grant you the power to go outside your contract? Where in your contract can you harm the people and intentionally trespass on our rights? See evidence below. Maxim 24K. The contract makes the law. Blacks 2D. 704, Bov. 135, Allen v. Murch. Bank of New York, 22 Wind. NY, 215, 233. Please take notice that the law is not to be violated by those in government, including harming the rights of the people. Are there government actors, agents, lawyers, and members of the media conspiring together to defame, slander, persecute, and act in a manner that harms the natural rights of the people, including those who were at the Capitol on January 6, 2021? See evidence below. Ohio Constitution Article 1 Section 11 Freedom of Speech, of the Press, of Libels. Every citizen may freely speak, write, and publish his sentiments on all subjects, being responsible for the abuse of the right, and no law shall be passed to restrain or abridge the liberty of speech, or of the press. In all criminal prosecutions for libel, the truth may be given in evidence to the jury, and if it shall appear to the jury that the matter charged as libelous is true, and was published with good motives, and for justifiable ends, the party shall be acquitted. Maxim 51I. Individual liberties are antecedent to all government. CLM. Maxim 51K. The law is not to be violated by those in government. Jank. Cent 7. Maxim 51H. The government is to be subject to the law, for the law makes the government. CLM. Please take notice that all people are entitled to the equal protection of the laws, including protection from any government who is acting in a way that severely harms the people. Are the individuals who were at the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021, receiving equal protection under the law, that is their right, or are they being persecuted and unlawfully discriminated against? See evidence below. Arkansas Constitution Article 2 Section 3 Equality before the law. The equality of all persons before the law is recognized, and shall ever remain inviolate, nor shall any citizen ever be deprived of any right, privilege, or immunity, nor exempted from any burden or duty, on account of race, color, or previous condition. Georgia Constitution Article 1 Section 1 Paragraph 2. Protection to person and property, equal protection. Protection to person and property is the paramount duty of government and shall be impartial and complete. No person shall be denied the equal protection of the laws. Louisiana Constitution Article 1 Section 3 Right to individual dignity. No person shall be denied the equal protection of the laws. No law shall discriminate against a person because of race or religious ideas, beliefs, or affiliations. No law shall arbitrarily, capriciously, or unreasonably discriminate against a person because of birth, age, sex, culture, physical condition, or political ideas or affiliations. Slavery and involuntary servitude are prohibited, except in the latter case as punishment for crime. Please take notice that many people are being unlawfully held, detained, imprisoned, and deprived of their life and liberty without the due process of law, because they assembled at the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021. When did the people grant you powers that allow you to trample on the liberty of the free people? Please provide the Constitution's provisions where you were granted authority to deprive the people of their inalienable rights. See evidence below. Arizona Constitution Article 2 Section 4 Due Process of Law. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. North Carolina Constitution Article 1 Section 19 Law of the Land, Equal Protection of the Laws. No person shall be taken, imprisoned, or decised of his freehold, liberties, or privileges, or outlawed, or exiled, or in any manner deprived of his life, liberty, or property, but by the law of the land. No person shall be denied the equal protection of the laws, nor shall any person be subjected to discrimination by the state because of race, color, religion, or national origin. Maxim 77F. No freeman shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property, but by the lawful judgment of his peers, or by the law of the land, that is by the common law. CLM. Please take notice that all people are protected from cruel and unusual punishment, which includes pretrial detention, excessive bail, denial of bail, or the flat-out withholding of any arraignments and proceedings that we are lawfully entitled to under due process of law. Do you believe you are treating the people fairly while holding them in isolation and segregation for excessively long periods of time? Many of the people have been unlawfully detained in prison since early 2021. Who granted you the authority to weaponize the Department of Justice against the people? See evidence below. California Constitution Article 1 Section 17. Cruel or unusual punishment may not be inflicted or excessive fines imposed. Florida Constitution Article 1 Section 14 Pretrial release and detention. Unless charged with a capital offense or an offense punishable by life imprisonment and the proof of guilt is evident or the presumption is great, every person charged with a crime or violation of municipal or county ordinance shall be entitled to pretrial release on reasonable conditions. If no conditions of release can reasonably protect the community from risk of physical harm to persons, assure the presence of the accused at trial, or assure the integrity of the judicial process, the accused may be detained. Kansas Constitution Bill of Rights Section 9 Bail. All persons shall be bailable by sufficient sureties except for capital offenses, where proof is evident or the presumption great. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel or unusual punishment inflicted. Tennessee Constitution Article 1 Section 13. That no person arrested and confined in jail shall be treated with unnecessary rigor. Please take notice that every individual is guaranteed certain remedy for any wrongs or injuries he may receive on his person. This includes any injuries committed by our trustees and servants who swore an oath to keep us safe, happy, and to protect us. Were you granted the authority to use your public office or governmental position to harm and injure the people by violating their inherent rights, including unlawfully detaining and imprisoning the people for using their God-given rights? See evidence below. Massachusetts Constitution, Part the 1st, Article 11. Every subject of the Commonwealth ought to find a certain remedy, by having recourse to the laws, for all injuries or wrongs which he may receive in his person, property, or character. He ought to obtain right and justice freely, and without being obliged to purchase it, completely, and without any denial, promptly, and without delay, conformably to the laws. Vermont Constitution, Chapter 1, Article 4, Remedy at Law secured to all. Every person within this state ought to find a certain remedy, by having recourse to the laws, for all injuries or wrongs which one may receive in person, property, or character. Every person ought to obtain right and justice, freely, and without being obliged to purchase it, completely, and without any denial, promptly, and without delay, conformably to the laws. Maxim 92N. No one is punished unless for some wrong, act, or default. 2 INST 287. Please take notice that all courts are to be open, and every person shall have remedy by due course of law, right, and justice administered without sale, denial, or delay. Are any government agents improperly using their office, which may include colluding with private bar attorneys and any other agents to withhold due process and trespass on the inherent rights of the people? See evidence below. Kentucky Constitution Bill of Rights, Section 14. All courts shall be open, and every person for an injury done him in his lands, goods, person, or reputation, shall have remedy by due course of law, and right and justice administered without sale, denial, or delay. Maxim 77-0. It is the right of the accused to be tried by a legally constituted court, not by a kangaroo court. Williams v. U.S. 341 U.S. 97, 101. Please take further notice that any man or woman who decides to suppress this notice agrees to pay $100,000 per infraction, and any disputes by any public officials and or private actors who are bound by contract to the state and federal constitutions, agrees to have these matters heard before an arbitrator of my choice. No bar association members are authorized to handle or provide guidance to any public servants regarding any matters that we the people send notice of remonstrance to our elected representatives, and any attempts by any bar association members to interfere or hinder with the people obtaining remedy for such grievances will be considered a direct trespass on the people's rights. Please take final notice that it is my wish, order, and demand that all trustees, servants, agents, and bar members are to immediately stop blocking and interfering with the people's inherent rights, including the rights to life, liberty, due process, and assembly. Furthermore, if you believe any of the above claims are untrue or that you have the authority to harm and infringe upon the rights of the free people, please provide the constitutional provisions that grant you such privileges. All responses must be submitted by affidavit, sworn under penalty of perjury, within 5 days of receiving this notice, or you agree, by acquiescence, all statements in this notice to be true and fact. Further, you agree that you are acting with full knowledge, intent, and malice by trespassing on the people's inherent rights, and that no court shall be able to rehear this matter, but it shall stand as truth and evidence in all courts of record. Please send your affidavit via certified mail to the sender of this notice or post publicly on your agency's website, including any social media or other public platforms. This notice is sent to you in peace and with the love of Christ, so that you may provide due care to those who have all political power, the people. 2. Justice Clarence Thomas. 2. Judge Amit P. Mehta. 2. Justice Brett Kavanaugh. 2. Judge Timothy J. Kelly. 2. Congressman Jim Jordan. 2. Judge Trevor N. McFadden. 2. Judge Beryl S. Howell. 2. Judge James E. Boasberg. 2. Judge Christopher Cooper. 2. Judge Emmett G. Sullivan. 2. Judge Tanya S. Chutkin. 2. Judge John D. Bates. 2. Judge Randolph D. Moss. We, the people, have assembled and consulted for the common good, and we will not tolerate any of the people involved with January 6th being deprived of their rights. All people of all states. Please sign this notice to demand immediate remedy to the people. Link to JotForm, https://form.jotform.com/222596802202148. Link to ConnectWe, https://t.me/+wl-cbf2xchq3ogyx. Telegram. ConnectWe Real Law, Action Steps and Support Group. This group is a place for those standing in law to connect freely, learn powerful law steps that make a difference, and to make sure we protect each other and make sure we have what is needed to have freedom.